Hello, my friends. Okay, so this is going to be the planetary weather report going forward for July 12th through 18th, but more so 12th, 13th, 14th, because we're having a big conjunction happening right now with two planets that kind of dominate the scene for the week, and it's just important to talk about this. So what is happening, and this is, by the way, for Gemini rising or Gemini sun, but I suggest you listen for Gemini rising, but you can do whatever you want. So Gemini rising, what is happening? It is a Mars-Venus conjunction in the sky. So Mars is the god of war, of strife, of will, of your get up and go, how you take action to get things. Venus is the goddess of love, of beauty, compassion, harmony, coming together, pleasure, how we seek beautiful, pleasurable things in the world, and possibly money. So these two things coming together are like a cohesion, finally, a compromise, a synthesis of opposites, a synthesis of will and desire, a blending of male and female, or yin and yang, a healing of opposites, reconciliation, compromise. With Leo, also, it's kind of fun. It's maybe taking the high road, being the bigger person. It's just shining your individual light in some way that is in a blending, really just a very fun male, female coming together, just a perfect blend or synthesis of opposites, really. And so why is that important? We're saying like, okay, that's great. It's important. You're a Gemini rising. This is happening in your third house. So the Mars Venus conjunction is happening in your third house of siblings, neighbors, what you do in your daily life, going forward, just daily motion, your neighborhood, basic everyday type of living and learning. And we could say, that's great, that's fun, good stuff is happening there. But I think it's a bigger piece of the puzzle here. Because what has happened in the past couple of weeks, starting late June into the first part of July, and the past few weeks, Mars has been going over that area and inflaming it and bringing strife to it and bringing aggression to it. And then also bothering the ongoing kind of tug of war between Saturn and Uranus in the ninth of bigger belief system, spirituality, higher learning, and just the bigger picture, ethics, religion, possibly gurus or something like that. And then your 12th house of deep psychological understandings that you, for whatever reason, do not want to deal with, and we put them in a warehouse kind of closet. That's the 12th house. So whatever has been going on with that, religion, big belief system, spirituality, ethics kind of area, and the area of the psyche that we put out of mind, out of sight, out of mind, whatever has been kicked up by that Mars stuff coming through in your place of siblings, neighbors, everyday dealings with everyday daily motion, that has had its moment, and it's been like, okay, wow, that's a lot. Venus recently just went through that same point to sort of say, let's soothe it, let's heal it, let's make this a healing moment for this potentially. But now they're coming together, Venus and Mars coming together near that same degree to heal that entire situation that I talked about all of those houses. And it's just a bigger like breath of fresh air. It's just like, okay, thank you. We can find some way here to come together. We can find some way of cohesion, of compromise, of how do we make this work going forward. Just a key to turn in the narrative. And I think that this is very big, especially for you, because you're a Gemini rising, because I feel that this is happening at 19 degrees, 43 minutes of Leo. And that sparked my interest because the last eclipse we had, solar new moon eclipse in Gemini in your first house, happened June 10th. That's really big because that was in at Gemini, 19 degrees, like 48 minutes Gemini. So that means that that solar eclipse and this Venus-Mars conjunction point are exactly sextile. And that's like a nice place where things you wouldn't really think worked like together work together all of a sudden, where you're like, oh my God, that pillow that I just bought and threw there totally makes the whole room work because it matches the rug. And I never noticed that there was really even the need for anything more, but now it's amazing. And it's just kind of like, something that we didn't think that was just a little tweak of something made something better. And that's a sextile. So I would say that this turning point of this Mars Venus, whatever is happening the next few days, is kind of being polished or sharpened. Your key is kind of being sharpened by that. Maybe things that happened in June 9th, 10th, 11th. Getting the key a little sharper. And I feel like the key could even be sharpened further if you take it back to the locksmith when we go to, not literally, but the locksmith of the sun coming through the same exact Venus-Mars point in August 9, 10, 11, when that sun point is hit up again, adding more light to this issue. It's almost like your key is like fully sharpened now. Like when you had a key and it was blunt and it wouldn't work, then you took it back to the locksmith and they really cut it perfect. It's a precise key now. And I would pay attention to things happening now in July, what happened in June 10th, 11th, and what's happening in August 10th, 11th, because these things are sharpening this tool, this key, the turning point that will continue to be, why is this important going forward? Because the giant square that we're going to be grappling with this year into next year is that Saturn, the Saturn-Uranus square, of like the 9th house of belief system, religion, spirituality, and the 12th house of psyche and putting it all away. I would really just say for you being Gemini rising, that last eclipse happened in your first house of self, of identity, of body, of appearance. I would pay attention to things that happened then and what's happening now and what's happening August 10th, 11th, because that's all just sharpening your key to make that connection from, we're on this bridge from old life to new life, one level to the next level. And we don't really know how to get there. What is this and what is that? This is kind of giving us a jumping off point and a place to hold on to throughout this process, because the process of the Uranus-Saturn will still continue. The 9th house of spirituality, belief system, the 12th house of psyche, that's all still going to be happening for you into next year and in the mundane world for everyone. But it will, and this is very important, now be highlighted by eclipses happening on those places, or at least in the 12th house in Taurus of your psyche, and then the 6th house of Scorpio of your health, healing, hard work, possibly service you do to the, give out into the world. It might have to do with pets or subordinates, but it's usually health, healing, service, hard work. And those eclipses are going to be absolutely shining more light and more information onto that Saturn-Uranus square that we're already grappling with. So we're ending and finishing the Gemini-Sagittarius eclipses for you, which have been in your first place of self and identity, and the Sagittarius stuff in your place of other and partner or one-on-one relationship. That is coming to a close. And by November 18th we're having the first Taurus eclipse coming through, the whole new change of scenery. And I think for most people then, we're going to start seeing, oh, this is going to be the new level. This is going to be the new life. We're on that bridge right now of just like, I'm not in either one yet. I'm really not in the old one, but I'm really not in the new one, but I am. And this key of right now, this Mars Venus, I would look at to point, take a moment to just reflect on these days, the days I mentioned in June and then in August, to sharpen your key, to make that turning point in the narrative a little bit more clear, because we're going to be dealing with all of the fixed energy, the Aquarius, Taurus, and Scorpio and Leo stuff going forward. So those fixed signs wherever they are in your chart will be totally kicked up next year, and starting in November, especially with the eclipses. Okay, so I think that's what I needed to say for Gemini rising. Yeah, you've gone through a lot the past year with those eclipses in your first and your seventh self and other. So we're moving out of that now, and it's going to be a whole different change of scenery. Okay, so I will be back next week with more, and thank you.